Hello you golfing legends. Now today I like to talk about building your own golfing simulator, and this is my experience. I went head first, dived head first, and there were quite a few things that I didn't think about, come unstuck, sort of cost me more money in the end. So I think there's sort of 5 points or 4 points to golfing simulator, building a golfing simulator. One is your budget. Number two is the available space you have. Number three, which I never thought about, is the acoustics, the noise it makes, the pollution. So if you've got dodgy neighbours, then you might need to reconsider. Number four is the enjoyment factor, and does it make you a better golfer? So in the background there is my golfing shed. Now when I come to build that shed, I originally ordered just a sort of a standard size off the internet, thinking it would be big enough to swing a club in. God knows, don't ask me why, I got it all wrong. They say you should have about 10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot, 10 foot high, 10 foot wide, 10 foot length. Believe me, the bigger the better. That is just about bare minimum. The other problem I had was the height. In the UK you have planning laws, you can only go 2.4 metres, so I had to dig down, so that was extra expense. So that's some of the sort of things you've got to think about. I had to the original shed wasn't big enough, so I had to make that bigger. So yes, the cost. So obviously I went for a budget solution. I went for the SkyTrak, which is only £2,000 for the unit itself. Of course you've got to get a projector, you've got to get a computer, and if you want to run simulator software, you need a pretty high spec computer. I've got two computers. I've got one that I leave in there all the time, so if I do get robbed, it's not the end of the world. The one that I use for my simulator, which I'll speak about a bit later, is I paid about 1,500 quid for that. That because it's got a super duper graphics card in that. So yeah, so make sure you've got enough space. The more the better. I'll show you in a minute. I mean, the other thing I didn't consider as well, that if you want people to come in and play with you, then you need probably twice as much space. At the moment I can just about squeeze one person to watch whilst I'm playing. We can sort of alternate. So yeah, really think carefully about your space. The bigger the better. So yeah, and your budget. I think I had a budget of about £6,000. I think I ended up spending about 8 grand on that, because I had to dig down, like I said, skip in, excavate the earth. So make sure that you've got enough money and more. Number three, the acoustics is one that people don't think about a lot. It is so noisy hitting balls in that garage. I've got plasterboard in there with acoustic lining. I've got the roof with acoustic, the fluffy stuff that sort of dampens the noise. And believe you me, it doesn't make that much difference. The wife says she can hear me whacking a driver in there. So if you've got dodgy neighbours, you really need to think about that as well. And number four is the enjoyment factor, and does it improve you as a golfer? I can honestly say, as an enjoyment factor, it's 10 out of 10. Before I had the baby, I was in there every day, hitting balls for hours and hours. It's absolutely great. Does it make you a better golfer? In my experience, it hasn't, because obviously if you don't know what you're doing in the swing, you're just practicing or ingraining bad habits, which happened to me. So it's different for everybody. So I'm sure if you're a good player, that it would only improve you. So yeah, so those are the points you need to think about when building a simulator.